my name is Anne, your guide to an animals get even. If you like bloodthirsty animals getting back at humanity, then it is a wonderful idea to like, comment, and subscribe. Today is part 2 of our fun little animal expedition. It is the bison's turn. So if you didn't see the previous video, I went over buffalo, which are distinctly different from bison. I will say that bison seem to have a lot less problems than the buffalo as far as bad interactions with people. Don't get me wrong, they still got some, but not nearly to the extent that the buffalo did. If you're not from the US, you probably haven't heard of this, but essentially bison were nearly hunted to extinction across North America. So now, at least in the US, the place that people think of as synonymous with bison is Yellowstone National Park. This is the park that is also filled with bears, filled with wolves, it's filled with a lot, and hopefully, eventually, I'll get to do a little series for you guys on Yellowstone animal attacks, which I think would be really fun. But today, we're just doing bison. Okay, so the park has a requirement that visitors need to stay at least, if not more, than 25 yards away from bison. There have been plenty of headlines involving people who get attacked for doing something dumb, like getting too close to the bison. I'll be covering both the attacks, where the person did something dumb, and situations where the full circumstances aren't really known. Now, I'm going to do this a little weird, because I'm going to give you like a list, and then we're going to get into the nitty-gritty details. Y'all might hate that format, and you are totally welcome to let me know in the comments that like, hey, go back to the other, or whatever, like, it's fine. I'm just trying something new. Don't come for me. If y'all don't like it, express that you don't like it, but nicely, because I'm a baby and I'll be sad if you're mean. We've got a woman gored by a bull bison at Yellowstone. She received, luckily for her, non-life-threatening injuries. I say luckily for her because, non-life-threatening. I'm sure that for her, being attacked at all was not lucky. Then we have a man walking with his family on the boardwalk. He gets injured in the arm. We've got another woman who was walking and got gored, thrown 10 feet in the air, and sustained a severe puncture wound and other minor injuries. What's worrisome to a human being is that while most of these attacks are non-life-threatening, to a bison, this level of attack is a warning. It's not even a real, like, I hate you assault. It is just them saying, you're too close, and throwing you 10 feet in the air. Peak rutting season is June to September, and peak calf protection season is May and June. Now, at least for Americans, one of the most likely times they're going to go visit Yellowstone, at least for Americans with families, is going to be in those peak times, because they're going to go in the summer when kids are out of school. So that's not fun. That's not a good time where those things match up. The man who was gored walking with his family, it happened in June, and they were a lot closer to the bison than the at least 25 yards away that the park tells people they need to do. July 20th, we get the reports about a woman in Theodore Roosevelt National Park. She got injured, but that was the exact same week that the woman was gored at Yellowstone Lake. So, okay, obviously, yeah, the season matters. May 30th is when the woman was thrown into the air. She approached the bison and got within 10 feet of it. Now, 1 yard is 3 feet. I know, y'all, anyone not in America is looking at me and going, why aren't you using the metric system? I'm sorry. It was reported this way. I'm just reporting it this way as well, because that's the information I have, and I didn't want to do all the conversions because they're super annoying. And I know that they're super annoying because I'm a bio minor. It was the worst part of those classes, was converting. For me, I'm not a math person. Anyway, y'all don't need to know that much about me. We're not talking about me. We're talking about bison. Let's get back to the bison. July 22nd, we have a group of roughly 50 people. That's the estimation. 50 people crowding a bison and standing within 5 to 10 feet of it for at least 20 minutes before the attack actually happened.
Family's awe-inspiring encounter turned to horror in a matter of seconds.
Now, if you are in a national park, you see something like that, say something. I don't care that it's not an actual crime. You need to find a park ranger and you need to tell them and you need to give an approximate location. Because people do this stuff and they bring their kids. And it's not their kids' fault, like in this case.
A crowd of curious tourists getting a close look at a massive bull bison. Then suddenly, it charges, plowing into a 9-year-old girl, launching her several feet into the air.
Bison can be aggressive. They can move quickly, and they can get bothered in a moment's notice.
The girl rushed to a nearby clinic. Rangers say the child is lucky she was not seriously injured.
The victim was a 9-year-old girl. Can we blame the child? Heck no. No, we can't blame the child. There's roughly 50 people. She's been dragged along by her parents. She's in a crowd of nearly 50 people. She's 9. She's not going to leave her parents' side. Even if she doesn't want to be there, she's not going to leave her parents' side. Why did her family put her near this animal at all? We don't know. We don't know. What I know is that you should not put children near wild animals. I don't know why that is such a hard lesson, but I could do a whole little mini series on kids in zoos, honestly, for y'all. That's how often it happens, which is absurd. Sorry, that made me really mad because, like, a child? Come on. With adults, you know, you get the benefit of, for the most part, not always, but for a lot of them, it's like, why'd you do that? You know? With kids, you don't find that. Usually they're there. Yes, they are their own little people. Yes, they technically have agency. But let's be real. In the most basic sense of our species life strategy, kids are dependent on us for a long period of time. That's just how it was. That's our programming. That's how, I don't remember what it's called, but it's the same for like orangutans and gorillas. Your kids are just dependent on you for a long time. It doesn't matter that, like, okay, they seem like they can go on their own. You're still watching out for them, right? That's why it bothers me so much. What have we learned today? We learned something we learned weeks ago. No selfies with wild animals. 1. 2. Stop getting close to bison when the park tells you to stand at least 25 yards away. Why are people like this? Phone cameras are so advanced. You can get a perfectly acceptable picture from a distance. You really can. You don't need to put yourself and you don't need to put others in danger to get a picture. You really, really don't. I promise. These are wild animals and their home environment. You're the interloper there. It's kind of like saying the whole shark-infested waters thing. It's like, they live there. It's human-infested waters, if anything. The sharks actually live there. Again, they're in their wild, natural environment. You are the interloper. You are the infestation. If you liked this video and you want more bloodthirsty animal content, then hit that subscribe right now. I am here Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Bye. What have we learned today? We learned something we learned weeks ago. No selfies with wild animals.